Right. Good morning, everyone. If you're watching, just waiting to find us on Facebook here. See if we are live. Yes, here we are. Hi. Good morning. Just tag everyone in the comment. Everyone. All right. Here I am. All right, as you're joining, give us a like and a love. And if you are watching the replay, give us a hashtag after party. Let me know that you're joining. Say hi too, by the way, because sometimes I can see people watching and I have no idea who you are, and I want to say hi. I want to say thank you for joining me. So, welcome. I know I didn't get a chance. Hi, Margaret. Saw you. It popped up. So I didn't get a chance to set up an event or send out an email. Sorry about that, guys. Just been extremely busy at the moment. But what are we talking about today? We're talking about how, like, one little tip that I can give you that will help you to lose weight faster than you probably think possible. That can make a big impact to your journey. That will help you to feel better. Feel better in your energy, feel better emotionally, feel better about what you're doing, feel better in your body, feel better in your body. Like, who doesn't want to feel better in their body? This came out of a conversation that I had last week with a client. She came to our coaching session extremely excited. She had a big beam on her face. She'd had such a good week and she couldn't wait to tell me about it. Now, this had nothing to do with her being perfect with what she was eating. She's already doing really well with whole food plant-based eating. She's a wonderful cook. She's done a culinary course, and so she has no problem with the food itself. But what we talked about the week before is something that was coming up for her that was possibly leading to overeating. What we'd identified is that she was feeling extremely stressed in her work and her work life, day-to-day working life. And we identified some little habits, some little patterns that were popping up. And this stressful environment at work seems to be something that has had an impact on her behavior for a while. But let me tell you about her. She's incredibly smart. She works in finance. She's a very high pressure job, reports to the CFO. Her CFO is a bit of a chaos bunny. CFO, like many people in management situations, I think. I've certainly worked for a few people like this. If you happen to be watching, please don't take offense. Whereby the decisions are constantly changing. So as somebody who reports to someone like that, it can be very hard to keep up with what their latest decision is. And, what you just told me to do is now not what you're telling me to do. So she's got a little bit of a boss who works like that as well. And she works crazy hours, long hours. And especially if she's commuting into the office itself, then she's got a long commute to get there as well. And so my client was spending most of her working days in fight or flight. So not only was she feeling extremely depleted by the end of the day, this is what we were talking about initially. She was feeling incredibly depleted at the end of the day. And she would come home and she'd be home late. And she didn't want to necessarily cook her food. She was tending to go out to eat because she was just too tired, too depleted to cook at home. So we resolved that situation to start with by doing some food prep ahead of time to make sure that she always had food to come home to, so she was less tempted to go out and eat, and also so that she had something that she could take to work with her and eat at the office, just in case she got caught late working or in a meeting or something like that. So that system was now working in place for her. But we came back to this working day again, and we were looking at it. And what we identified is that she like me, when I was back in corporate, I'll first be putting up my hand to say I was exactly the same, which is why I identified this in her. She would not take a lunch break. She would eat lunch at her desk. She would race through her lunch. She'd probably barely chew, barely breathe. And she would end up feeling energetically depleted in the afternoon. Energy would tank. Her digestion wasn't feeling great. She wasn't moving things through properly. And she was really feeling miserable about life, miserable about her work, miserable. She loved the work, she loved the job, but she was just feeling a little bit miserable. And she was feeling extremely depleted of energy as well. And then, of course, gut upset as well. So she'd get home and, it was just a case of like flop on the couch, try and get some rest before bed and get up and do it all again. And the one little thing that we decided to dial in here or really take a look at was slowing down. It wasn't her food. By this stage, it wasn't her food. The food wasn't the problem. Like she was in a really good routine with her food prep and making healthy food for herself. So the food itself that she was eating was really good. What we identified was the lack of pause through the day, the fact that her nervous system was constantly in this state of fight or flight. She was in chronic stress and she was never taking a moment to pause throughout the day. And in this week, with this one little change that we made, it made her feel so incredibly different. She not only lost 3 pounds in a week, like effortlessly almost, and this was out without restriction or working out harder, like this is just one little change. She lost the 3 pounds. Her energy significantly increased. Her digestion significantly improved. And mentally and emotionally, she felt so much better. And this one little thing that she did was take a lunch break. Sounds ridiculous, sounds way too easy, doesn't it? But that one lunch break changed so much for her. And I know the resistance that I had when I was back in corporate to taking a lunch break. I just remember the stories that I would tell myself. Like, I can't take a lunch break because then I will have to stay later. I don't have the time now. I'd rather work through lunch and be able to get away from work later. But really that was a story, and that was the same story that my client was telling herself as well. I can't take a lunch break now because then I'm just going to end up having to work later. Well, the opposite kind of happened. She didn't. She ended up being way more productive and energized and focused in the afternoon because she took a lunch break. But I recognize the stories. I have to say, I am the first to put up my hand and say that most of the things that my clients have done in the stories, they tell themselves, hey, I've been there, I've done it. It's okay. But this change was huge for her. So before she was doing this, because she was just constantly go, trying to keep up with all the work and the pressure and the deadlines and the meetings, her nervous system was never given a chance to rest and recover through the day. So we wanted to intentionally create a strategy that helped her nervous system and her body feel safe. So what she said she would do is not just take a lunch break, because that sounds too easy. Like, she had to be very strategic about this, because her boss was the type of person, and other people in the business too, to book out meetings with people during lunch. And this happened quite regularly. Or her boss would, call her over or want to speak to her for 5 minutes, and that would turn into a 3-hour conversation or meeting. So she decided that she needed to treat her lunch break like it was an appointment, a meeting. So she was going to schedule it in her calendar purposefully so nobody else could book over. And she also decided to speak to her colleagues as well. And I think this is genius, because what her boss would often do is, like if she saw that my client was in a meeting by herself, she would probably think that, oh, that's just lunch, and book a meeting over the top. But my client was smart about this. She said, if I get my colleagues into the same meeting, because the boss doesn't work in the same office, that's the key thing too. She said, if I get my colleagues into the same meeting, because they're all feeling the same, they're like, oh, we feel really dysregulated and out of sorts during our week. If she said, if I get my colleagues into the same meeting and we all take our lunch break together, then the boss is going to actually think it's a real meeting and leave us alone. And it worked. It's fine. Nobody booked over the top. Nobody wanted to pull them away from their break. They took their time away from the desks, no work, just regulating their nervous systems and eating and breathing and taking a pause. Everyone was on board with it. Everyone loved it. And because they've now felt that visceral difference in their body as a result of doing it, oh, guess what? The subconscious mind lets go of all of the stories that tells them not to do it, that it will be safer to work through lunch and go home earlier. Now it's like, oh, no, if I actually have a lunch, I feel better. I get more done in the afternoon and I can still get home on time. The subconscious mind is on board and it no longer resists. The result of doing this, she ended up being way less stressed. She had way more energy in the afternoon. She was far more focused. She made better decisions, better digestion. She also had an annoying cough that wasn't going. It was hanging around. And that annoying cough just disappeared. She felt calmer, she felt happier, more present. And on top of that, she also lost 3 pounds. Right? So here's why this matters. Here's what happens in your body when you are stressed versus when you slow down and take a break. So when you're jacked up, when you're stressed, when you're going through your day, like not taking moments to eat or pause throughout your day to really check in with your nervous system, check in with your body, make sure that you can bring your body back down to feeling safe again, right? What happens is if you're not doing that, your cortisol and adrenaline are flooding your system all day. Your brain becomes more foggy because energy is diverted from prefrontal cortex through to the survival parts of the brain. Right? We become more reactive. We're less able to make important decisions, intentional decisions. And that's really important. If you've got an important job where your job is to make important decisions, you need this part of your brain on. So if your brain is resisting taking a break right now, just remind this part of your brain that's saying, no, I can't do it, that it's about resting this one so this one can start taking the work for the afternoon, right? This one is the one that can start doing some heavy lifting. When you're in fight or flight as well, your brain, right, because you're in more of your reactive, looking for the problems brain, you're in survival brain, your brain is hyper-focused on problems and not solutions. It can be harder, like I said, to make important decisions. It makes it harder to find solutions to the problems. You're more reactive, and you also make more sort of reactive and unintentional decisions around your food, not just in the workplace or in your life. Also, when you're eating through this sort of stress, not only your brain isn't necessary, because your brain's focused on problems and the work that you've got to get done. It's not focused on the food that you're eating or the act of eating. And because of this, you are less likely to actually enjoy the food that you are eating. You're more likely to eat it super fast, super disconnected, super distracted. And what happens then? If we're distracted from our body, we're distracted from the process of eating, we're more likely to overeat because our brain's not connected. Our brain's not connected to the eating, our brain's not connected to our fullness cues, our brain's just not connected to our body at all. It's focused on the problem that we're trying to solve out there. Also, when you're stressed, when you are actually, when your body perceives danger in a state of fight or flight, Your body is diverting energy and resources from internal organ systems for your life-preserving functions, so that you can fight or flee. And one of those, I guess, internal functions that it's diverting resources away from is your digestion. So your digestion doesn't function properly. It becomes sloppy. It becomes sluggish. And so as you're eating through this, you're not digesting properly. And because of that, you're not absorbing the nutrition that you're eating necessarily. And because of this, well, you feel that lack of energy. You might be getting the calories from what you eat, but you're not necessarily getting the vitamins and minerals, the antioxidants, or the nutrition that your body needs. And because your digestion is now sluggish, you can end up with chronic digestive issues come the afternoon. I know this. I was doing exactly this. Your energy can also tank in the afternoon too. So yes, this absolutely was me back in my old days. I'm sorry, there's some sort of emergency engine siren going off in the background. I'll just close this. It's hot in here, just in case you can hear that. It's a bit annoying. So back in my days of corporate, I was super stressed all day, every day. And I too would tell myself that I didn't have time for a break, that I just needed to eat at my desk and get it over and done with. Really, it was that I didn't want to go and have a lunch break by myself. That was it. I didn't want the discomfort of having a lunch break by myself. That's it. And everyone else around me wanted to keep working because I think they thought that nobody else wanted to have a lunch break. Really stupid. But anyway, so I would eat at my desk, and I know that I used to eat super fast because it was a case of I just need to get this out of the way so I can get back to work because I've got so much to get done. I'm so busy, deadlines. I feel like I'm behind all the time. And as a result of eating fast and being super disconnected to my body, from my body, I know that I was overeating because I would finish my food and then be like, oh, that doesn't feel good. I'm over full now. And then I spent the rest of the afternoon in chronic pain. My digestive system was not working properly. I would end up with gas and bloating. And this it wasn't necessarily linked to what I was eating. It was because I was eating fast, I was overeating, and I was doing it through stress. My digestion wasn't on. And so this caused so many problems for me. And then in the afternoon, I would find that my energy would really significantly dip. There was significant, when my stomach was at its worst, I would have days where I would actually struggle to keep my eyes open. And I'd be at my desk and I'd be like, oh, I just want to go for a nap. I just want to crawl under my desk and go to sleep. What is wrong with me? And then I'd spend all afternoon in the bathroom, like backwards and forwards, trying to move things through the system. Too much information, I know, but now I understand the impacts of stress on our body and on things like our digestive system. I look back with so much awareness now, and I can see the impact that this was having on my body. And, just like ahas are massive for me. So this is why when I'm working with my clients, this is one of the biggest things I teach as well. Making sure that you are regulating your nervous system, not just around stressful events, but just through your day, tapping into your nervous system. You can do this anytime to calm your nervous system. Take a break, breathe. Make sure that you're bringing your digestive system back online. Otherwise, you're going to end up feeling miserable. We're not designed to be in a state of fight or flight all day, every day. We're designed to have moments of fight or flight when there's literal danger in our world. But unfortunately, this world that we live in now, it leaves us in a chronic state of fight. Most people in a chronic state of fight or flight all day, every day. And it's not just our workplaces. It's not just the commute to and from. It's social media. It's the news. It's it's our social networks. People griping about their lives, and so we're just constantly filling our lives with negativity that leaves us in this chronic state of fight or flight. So we really need to come back home to our bodies and do the work that we can internally to calm our nervous system down. That's an inside job. We can't wait for the external world to change for us to take control of how we feel. So here's what happens when you slow down. When you slow down during your day, it's not about getting less done. It's not about not meeting your deadlines. It's not about being lazy. It's about intentionally taking those moments of pause, especially if you are in a, like a corporate environment where it's crazy. I know, I've been there. It's crazy. It's one of the reasons I had to get out. I just couldn't take the crazy anymore. So what happens when you do this? You are going to we're going to stop the flood of cortisol and adrenaline flooding your system. Your body is going to move back into a state of what I call rest and digest, or heal and feel. So from fight or flight into rest or digest, heal or feel. So fight or flight mode is our sympathetic nervous system, and rest and digest, heal and feel is our parasympathetic nervous system. You might have heard of these. When your body is in that safe, calm state, your digestion is going to be turned back on. So your digestion will work effectively, and as you eat, you're not going to get the digestive upset, the bloating, the gas, the discomfort, unless you've got other chronic issues with your gut, which of course will need separate help. But a lot of the time, a lot of people's digestive upset is because of stress. Your body will be able to absorb your nutrition effectively. Your brain will be way more connected to your body, because if you have used your mind to change your breath, if you've brought all of your awareness and your focus into your body to change your breath, to focus on calming that nervous system, now your brain's connected to your body. It is aware of what's going on inside of your body. So when you eat, you are aware of the act of eating. You're aware of your chewing. You're aware of where those fullness cues are in your body, and you can stop at the right time instead of hoovering everything till it's gone and then realizing, oh shit, I've just overdone it. So you'll be less likely to overeat calories. You will enjoy your food more. This is a big thing. We can enjoy our food. We're meant to enjoy our food. And your energy will return. You'll improve your energy. Your mood will improve as well. You know, we're not necessarily happy when we're stressed out all the time, are we? So your mood will improve. And so many amazing things happen when our mood improves. We make better decisions for ourselves when we're happier. So if you are constantly rushed, constantly eating distracted, living under constant stressful situations, then these eating through all of this could inadvertently lead you to overeating calories, even if you're not an emotional eater, even if you're not turning to food for comfort. Just being completely disconnected from your food and overeating can prevent weight loss. So slowing down can really help you find fullness better, enjoy your food, help your body stay connected, and increase your energy levels without needing to be extremely restrictive in what you're eating. So no amount of food perfection is going to override these mindless overeating habits that you might have due to stress in your life. So stress reduction through your day can be very crucial to and have a massive impact on your weight loss results long term. So I highly recommend that you take these moments of pause. So here's what I would love. Here's a few tips for you. I'd love you just to take away to help you get these moments of pause in your day. Not perfectly, just intentionally. And if I know for some of you this is not exactly going to work. So rather than look at me and say, I can't do that, I recognize that for many of you, you don't have the luxury of doing exactly what I'm suggesting that you do, but rather take what I'm saying and ask yourself, how can I make this work for me in my life? How can I adapt these suggestions to my situation? How can I make this work for me? Rather than, oh, I can't do this because X, Y, Z, okay? We want to look at this from a place of empowerment, not disempowerment. So we want to schedule a moment of pause in your day to eat your food. Put it in your calendar so that nobody can book over the top of you. Treat it like a meeting. Treat it as important an appointment as you would an appointment with your doctor, right? I schedule my lunch break, I schedule my breakfast, my lunch, and my dinner breaks in my calendar because I don't want anybody booking anything over the top of me. And I want to make sure that I have allocated that window because I know that I just have a tendency to fill things up. And then I'll be like, oh, where's my lunch break? Where am I going to have 5 minutes to even just eat my food? And then I end up rushing. So I don't want to do that to myself. So I schedule in at least a half-hour window to sit down with my food, eat with intention, eat slowly, eat till I'm comfortably full, and make sure that I'm doing it while I'm feeling calm and not go. Right? Very, very important. Schedule that moment of pause in your day. Actually block it into your calendar. You are not available. Get out of my face. Don't want to know. This is me taking care of me so I can be more effective in the afternoon. The second tip is to eat without distraction. Put away the phone. No working. I don't care if you schedule that moment of those 30 minutes in your calendar. If you decide to eat at your desk, right? No working. No working. And I recommend that you get away from the desk. Because eating at the desk, even for me, I get away from my desk now. It's the only table that I've got space for in here where I can actually sit up at it. And so it does become an easy lunch table, dinner table. And I've decided if I do that, my laptop actually has to come down. Otherwise, and all the keyboard goes away, laptop goes down. If I don't do that, then I know that I sit here working at the same time. I've got to put the distractions away. But most of the time, I actually take my lunch over to the couch and I sit down there because that, to me, couch time is rest time. Desk time is work time. And because they're in the same room, I keep them intentionally very separate parts of the room. So make sure that when you sit down to eat, you are eating without distraction. Even just 20 minutes can make a huge difference to how you feel in your body, your regulation, your ability, your focus on your body, your ability to be able to stop when you're comfortably full instead of overfull, to have your digestion working properly. Third tip is to breathe intentionally, with intention. Not just shallow and up into our chest. Right? Most of us are spending a lot of our day breathing shallow into our chest. Right? That itself signals to the brain, danger, 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 where's the danger? Right? So you're intentionally moving that breath deep into your diaphragm, you're slowing it down. And spend a couple of minutes just breathing calmly before you eat. Don't just sit down and go, We're not sitting down to do that. We go, this is my moment of intention. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to breathe before I eat. Calm your nervous system down. It takes a couple of minutes just to calm everything down. It tells your brain that you are safe now, the danger is gone. This will bring your digestion back online. Your digestion and nutrient absorption will improve big time. And then it is also going to help you find that fullness point much easier as well. And a way to really slow down your eating too. Breathe between the bites. Don't just have the next fork full right there ready to go while you're still chewing the other one, which is something that I used to do. I'm really aware of that now, and I intentionally aim to breathe and pause and put down my cutlery between bites. So breathe between each bite, or put your cutlery down between mouthfuls, and actually pause between the bites as well. Check in with your body. Just stay connected to your body as you do this, and then it will be far easier for you to recognize when you are comfortably full versus overfull. So slowness, slowing down, taking a pause, is not lazy, it's strategic. So I see this pattern a lot of the time. I obviously recognize it within myself. I see it a lot amongst high achievers, people with big hearts, people pleasers. If I work through lunch and everyone sees me working through lunch, then I'm the good girl. That was another story I used to tell myself. Look how hard I'm working. Yeah, but we're always on, and we're always giving. And always on is not how our nervous system is supposed to be. It's meant to have moments of off. So if you feel like you've been really good with your food and nothing's really working, why don't you just try this? Give this a go. If you recognize that you are just go, 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 and never stopping, give this a go and see if this changes a few things for you. If you've been trying harder, pushing stricter, being stricter, pushing more, maybe doing more isn't the thing that you need to do. Maybe it's actually just doing less. Giving your body permission to slow down. I'm giving you permission to just calm the farm, rest. Give your body a rest and allow things to start working properly again. Going inwards, noticing where your system is dysregulated. Giving it the space and support that it needs to calm down. Then eating slowly with intention. Enjoying the food that you're eating and finding that natural fullness point, comfortably full, without needing to restrict yourself fully with your food. Okay, team. I hope that was helpful for you. I'll check the comments here. Katrina. That's a long comment, Katrina. Hi, Mio. Hi, Katrina. Exactly. Your title and comment, Karen, no matter how much you exercise, it will never lose the weight. It's like Dr. McDougall and all the others have always said, it's the food. It's not how many calories you burn, because you can never burn enough. But if you eat whole food, plant-based, and do it correctly and make it your lifestyle, then the weight will fall gradually, even without even trying. The exercise is good and important for toning and strengthening, but it's not essential. And that's exactly how I look at it. The right food is the key. This is just my opinion. Yep. Okay. Thanks, Karen. Yes, this is about not pushing harder, including with your exercise. You don't need to keep pushing harder. It's about taking those moments of pause. Okay. Thanks, team. If you've got any questions about that, please do let me know, and I will answer them in the comments when I come back, if I don't get to it right now. So, just to let you all know as well, I have moved my challenge that was due to start today out by a couple of weeks. Okay, so talk about nervous system dysregulation. Someone thought she could come back from Christmas holiday and just go, 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 bam, 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 and launch a challenge in 2 weeks. And last week I was the one who was dysregulated, who was like stressed up to my eyeballs going, I'm not going to make it, I'm not going to make it, I'm not going to make it. And in the end, I realized that I am also the one who sets the date of these damn challenges. And I have full control over when they happen. And so in order to help my nervous system calm down, not only was I breathing, but I decided to push it out by a couple of weeks. So that just gives me some time and some space to be able to do this properly, to fill it properly, to get the right people in. And to make sure that we are all ready to go. Because if I am delivering to you feeling stressed and rushed, it's going to come off as stressed and rushed, and you're not going to feel, I'm not going to leave you feeling like, oh my God, I can do this. I'm going to leave you feeling like, she's crazy. Like, I can't do that. And that's not how I want you to feel. I want you to come into these challenges and feel like, I can do this. This is really good. I want to help you see, I want to help you slow down. I want to help you slow down what you're doing and just choose small little things like slowing down that are going to help you move forwards and lose the next 5 pounds or so. Yeah, let's take it in short stints, short bursts. Everyone's thinking about, oh my God, I've got to lose 20, 30 pounds, 50 pounds. What do I need to do to lose that much? I want us to slow this down and go, what do we need to do to lose the next 5? Let's look at the next 5 pounds. When you think about what you need to do to lose the next 5 pounds, it becomes doable. And that's what we're going to be doing in my next challenge, looking at the little refinements, tweaks, the things that are going to make a difference for you in your journey. Okay, so let me tell you about the challenge. It's going to be 5 days working with me in a small group environment over Zoom. We'll be over, you'll come and join me in a Zoom room. And you will also get some one-on-one support with me to help you map out your plan, not just around what you're going to focus on for the 5 pounds, but what you can focus on next beyond our 5 days together to get you to your goal. So over the 5 days, the topics we're going to cover are things that we can stop doing that do not work for long-term fat loss. I call this all the dumb things that we're doing. And again, I put up my hand and say, I know they're dumb because I did them all myself. I know the wrong ways to do this. I know the right ways to do this, not only from personal experience, but from 5 years of coaching people now. So I know all the stuff that does not last long term, that our nervous system is not on board with. And we want to approach this in a way that our nervous system is going to be happy with. We have to get our subconscious mind, our nervous system on board with change, or else we will not change. Okay, so day 1, all the things we can stop doing, all the things that don't work, right? That's going to give you a whole heap of relief. Day 2, we are going to identify one small habit that can help you achieve your next 5 pounds down. One small habit. We're going to go through some things that help with weight loss, and we're going to slow it right down. So you don't have to think about making massive changes, just one small refinement, one small thing that you can do that's going to make a difference for you. Then we're going to talk about day 3. We're going to talk about how to break our overeating habits that sabotage your progress. So for some of you, it might be scheduling that break in your lunch, right? Your lunch hour, slowing down. I know I need to slow down. I know I need to find that fullness point, that natural fullness point, because I'm just hoovering food like there's no tomorrow, right? So how do we break those overeating habits that sabotage our progress? Or, how do we break the patterns that sabotage our progress? So you'll be identifying one thing for you, and we will be focusing on what we can do to break that pattern. Day 4, we're going to be learning how to let go of the weight struggle and become the person for whom the goal weight is normal. So if you think about it, people who are at their goal weight, they don't struggle with their weight, right? They don't think about their weight every day. They don't think about, what do I need to do to get to this goal? No, they're not thinking about it. They just live it. A little bit like, think about this. Smokers, people who've given up smoking, if somebody is a non-smoker, they don't think about cigarettes. They don't think about, oh, I can't have a cigarette today. Like, oh, poor me, I don't get to smoke today. Right? There are certain ways of being when you're at your goal weight that are not normal for you if you're struggling with weight. And so what are those things? Like, how do we let go of that struggle and just start to become that person before we have the goal? Because when we can learn how to be that person, then it makes the getting there so much easier. Like, we lower our resistance to doing the things that'll get us there because, well, we're already being the person at goal weight. So those things are natural to us. We let go of the sabotage because we're not flipping back to old behaviors, because it's like a person who identifies as a non-smoker no longer falls back to smoking when they're stressed. Like, they just don't do it because they don't smoke. person at goal weight doesn't fall back to unhealthy eating when they're stressed because they just eat healthy. It's not a struggle. It's just what they do. Does that make sense? Like, so this is your identity, or you. How do we become identity led? Let go of that struggle and become that person now before we have the evidence that we are that person. And then day 5 will be about how do we keep going beyond these 5 days? How do we not like revert back? How do we not leave these 5 days and go mindless again and just go revert back to our old eating habits so that we have to join the next challenge the next month and correct our behavior again, right? How do we continue this journey and not fall off track? All right. So if you are interested in joining this challenge, just comment or message me the word challenge. And what we'll do is we'll schedule a very short 10-minute chat where we're going to talk about you, your goals, what you're really struggling with, what you think the difference is between you being here, and what you think you need to do to get here and why that's a challenge for you. And then I'll talk you through those 5 days again, see if you've got any questions. And what we want to do is just make sure that it's going to be right for you, because I don't want you wasting your 5 days if you don't think it's going to be right for you. So yes, if you really want in on this, I would be honored to support you for 5 days. And Denise is in. Right, Denise, we're going to make this the last challenge that you ever have to do, all right? Fantastic. I'll reach out to you, my dear. Yes, so let's look at that. We'll have a chat about where you're at right now, and let's get you registered. So please do just drop in the word challenge or message me the word challenge, and I'll reach out to you. Okay, team. Thank you for watching. And I will be back next week with more tips and tricks to help you get to your goal. Okay, ciao for now.